Toward the end of that song, I mentioned, I made a reference to Puppy Killing Labs, which is a reference to a company called Huntington Life Sciences, which kills 500 animals a day. And they basically are a subcontracting company for pharmaceuticals. So if you're a big pharmaceutical company, you would go to Huntington Life Sciences and say, hey, we've got this new drug. Here's a whole lot of money. Kill a whole bunch of animals and then tell us that it works, regardless of whether or not it actually does. And there have been all kinds of drugs put out by Huntington Life Sciences that have later been recalled after people who have taken them have done things like kill themselves and kill their family members, have had heart attacks, and any number of scientific oddities that you would find with such an unethical company. And there's a really strong campaign in this country to shut them down, but with all effective activist campaigns, they've met a lot of state repression, and there are 6 people who are serving 5-year sentences right now for exercising their right to freedom of speech. They're known as the Shack 7, and it's 6 people in an organization that were indicted essentially for starting a website that listed publicly available information about this company and encouraged people to take direct action against them. And those people, one of them recently got out of jail, and there are 5 others that are serving between 2 and 5-year sentences. And that's kind of the environment that we're working in right now. And it's frightening, but it's also nothing new. I write a lot of letters to prisoners, and I think that that's a really great way that we can support these people. Jail is a really lonely place, and if you can take a few minutes out of your week to write to a political prisoner, I think that's a really great way that we can do this. And I realize as I'm writing to these people who are my age, and then I'm also writing to people who are still in jail from the 60s and from the 70s, people who were in the Black Liberation Army, or the Black Panthers, or people who were fighting for justice for all this time. And I got caught up in a little bit of that myself just before I left Boston. And I was lucky enough to get my travel permit from my probation officer so that I could be here to sing. And I told her I was staying with Lucy Parsons. And I took the job. But just before I left, a few of us were arrested protesting at a company that does business with Huntington Life Sciences. And it was a few days after that protest, and we were very worried about our house being raided. And it was at about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was laying in bed next to my partner, and we suddenly hear this on the door. And of course, our hearts start beating really fast, and we're hugging each other. We're like, I love you so much. I'll see you back out here. And in the 15 seconds that it took me to get up out of bed and walk down the hallway to the door, I kind of wrote this song in my head, after which I discovered that it was the plumber. And he fixed the faucet and didn't drag us to jail. It was really not that bad of a morning, but I still had the song. It's like, I should probably do something with it. And I was out on tour, and I'd been singing it for a couple of weeks when I got a phone call that my friend Brad Will, who was an indie media journalist from New York City, was shot and murdered in Oaxaca, Mexico by the Mexican police while he was documenting the popular rebellion that's still going on there. And I kind of wrote this final verse for him. I was fortunate enough to be able to play at a ceremony for him in New York City on the way back from that tour. And I was singing it, and I realized it wasn't really just about Brad, and that there are so many people whose names we do know who've given their lives for the struggle. Like I just mentioned, Lucy Parsons, or Emma Goldman, or Carlo Giuliani, or there's these names we know, but there's the countless thousands of people whose names we don't know, whose names we'll never know. And I guess this song is for them, it's for anyone who's ever given their life and freedom for the struggle, and for that fear that it brings us, but the hope that exists within our collective fear and our collective overcoming of that fear. So this song is called By Morning. These past few nights we've slept with skin warm on skin, and the sirens in the hours before dawn. The weak daylight, too much to keep me from thinking. Your hands in mine, enough to keep me feeling strong. And they come for us by morning with that knock, knock on the door. Oh, I'll hold you a little closer as they reach the second floor. If I had Still I know our love is stronger than their guns could ever be. Still I know